Hello, this is a video about linear sequences. In part 1, we'll find out what are linear sequences, how to find the term-to-term rule of a linear sequence, and how to find the nth term of a linear sequence. In part 2, we'll find out how we can use the nth term rule in order to find specific terms in a linear sequence, and to find out if a specific number appears in a given sequence at all. So, let's begin. This is a linear sequence. This is because the difference between any two nearby numbers is the same. Each number in a sequence is called a term. You can refer to terms by their position in a sequence. In this sequence, the number 9 is the third term. Now that we know what are linear sequences, let's find out what is the term-to-term rule and how do we find it for a given linear sequence. The term-to-term rule tells us how can we find the next term in a sequence. The term-to-term rule for a linear sequence is always add or subtract the difference between any two nearby numbers in a linear sequence. In this case, the term-to-term rule is add 3. Please write down the examples of the term-to-term rules for the given sequences. Pause the video and resume when you are done. Now that we know how to find the term-to-term rule of a linear sequence, it is time to find out how do we find the nth term of a linear sequence. In some cases, we might want to find out, for example, the 100th term in a linear sequence. We might try to carry on calculating terms of the sequence until we reach the 100th term, but that would take a while. But there is a quicker way, the nth term rule. Let's consider the following sequence. As you can see, in it, the difference between any two nearby terms is 3. In order to calculate the nth term, we would want to multiply n by the difference. But what do we add it to? We can calculate what the 0th term would be. We do that by doing the opposite to the first term of what we would do in order to find out the next term. So, in this case, we would find the next term by adding 3. Therefore, in order to find the 0th term, we subtract 3 from the first term. 4 minus 3 equals 1, which means that the 0th term is 1. Therefore, the nth term rule for this sequence is 3n plus 1. Let's consider another example. In this sequence, the difference is minus 4. Therefore, in order to get the nth term, we will want to add minus 4 n times to the 0th term. What will be the 0th term? Again, doing to the first term the opposite of what we would do in order to get the next term. Therefore, we have to add 4 to the first term. 20 plus 4 equals 24. So the nth term rule for this sequence is minus 4n plus 24, or 24 minus 4n. Now, please calculate the nth term rule of the following sequences. Pause the video and resume when you are done. Then I will show you the answers. Alright, so these are the answers to the task. Now we know how to find the nth term of a sequence. In part 2, we will find out how to use this knowledge in order to find specific terms in a sequence and find out if a specific number appears in a given linear sequence at all.